Hi curriculum team, I just wanted to make a quick video to show you about the formatting changes and explain those so that everybody could get on the same page from our check-ins last Friday. So thanks for watching this, and let me get started. So for this, I'm using the kindergarten launch as the model that I'm going to look at. I've gone through and tried to fix yours up as much as I can, but please check to be sure. I haven't really gotten to all. Mainly what I've tried to make sure is that this bar is accurate for everyone. Below that bar, you'll see Kinder has established reading habits within workshop. That's something unique for Kinder that we talked about, because we're going to spend the first 10 days talking about reading habits and really focusing on those mini lessons. And the last 5 days, we'll dig into more of those workshop things like that they have lessons on, such as looking at characters and different kind of text and stuff like that. So you don't need to worry about that, but I did want to explain it. I think first grade could do that as well if you think that that would help. So what we want to make sure is that this blue bar across the top is the same. As you move into formatting, you want to have a mini lesson TEK section and a routine section so teachers can see those with a space between. This is all 10 points in Arial. As you go across thinking about mini lessons, any of the mini lessons, these should all match. So if it's benchmark, that should match the Round Rack mini lesson, and then benchmark should also match the Reading Strategies book TEKs. So these 3 columns of, I'm sorry, not the management, the benchmark Readers Workshop mini lessons, the Round Rack mini lessons, and the Reading Strategies book, if they're there, should all have the same standards for the mini lesson, which are right there, because they should be aligning to the benchmark there. And then the routines, we're going to set those separate. So if you have a routine section in that line of that day, then you would put your routines here. Not everybody will have a routine every day, and that's okay. Not everybody will have a Round Rack mini lesson every day or a Reading Strategies book lesson. Some of you might decide to start or do that day not on a benchmark lesson, but maybe a Round Rack mini lesson, and that's okay too. It doesn't have to have a benchmark lesson here. We just want to use those first as much as we can. But if you feel like there's one that's really much better and it's explained, then we can do that, but let's be sparing on that part. As far as routines, I want to show you at the beginning we talked about the pacing in benchmark, that you could look at the mini lesson and they have it paired in the pacing chart with a routine. Once we dig into a lesson, we notice that in the mini lesson it has mini lesson 1, it goes through that, and then it says it has a routine here, and it talks about before you begin, you can do this routine. What we noticed is those routines that are listed on this page are not lined up to the pacing chart, and we're not really sure why. So let's talk about the standard for routines. I think one of 2 things is perfectly fine. Sorry, I went to the wrong column. For routines, I think it's perfect for you to think about the routines and look at them as how they connect best to mini lessons. I think that's perfect. That's good thinking. I also think it's okay to go to a mini lesson page and benchmark has listed routine 1, and then you could put that, here on the routine page so that people, when they actually look at the page, that matches. I think either one is fine, because what we're going to really help people understand is the routines are really the differentiation piece, well, all of it, but routines especially because you respond to what your kids are doing and what they're needing, and so hopefully the teachers will move those around and do the things that they need to do there. So I hope that makes sense. Now I'm going to move on. Oh, I also wanted y'all to know that I added a section to the very bottom that has, well, let me show it to you. I'll put it there. But it's in the writing, so now I'm going to move over to the writing and we'll start there. So I use grade 4 writing as the kickoff, as the model template for y'all. And if you go down, I just wanted to show you, I was going to put this in the reading too. Additional ideas and lessons. So some people decided, I think the 5th grade team decided there were some really good things that they wanted from the continuum that they wanted people to know about. So you can put those at the very bottom. Let's use that very sparingly, maybe like 3 things and not more than that, because we don't want that part to get overwhelmingly long. So let's start at the top for the writing kickoff. So you'll see the writing kickoff. I've narrowed down the bullet to 1. It's just the strategies. I've inserted this, which Kinder did, and I liked it, so your weeks will be different. Kinder's is a longer kickoff for writing. So just if pretty much everybody starts with immersion, and then whatever you want teachers to know about the big idea of what you're doing there, and you can do that. So maybe the first week is immersion, and then the second week probably for lots of us would be exploring the writing process and independent writing. So you could do that using the similar wording. So on day 1, this is our example to look at. We have the TEKS again. The mini lesson are listed. These are spelled out. You don't have to spell them out. They're just spelled out right now to help the team. But at the end, we just want to have like TEK 4.12a and the list without all the description. And then ELD and then the ELD TEKS for the routine that go there. So that's the format we want to use. We also want to look across, put the week and the session number, the part, and what it is, and then the page numbers. We want to put page numbers on the reading too, and the writing to help teachers. That might be tricky since they're working online, so we might have to get some books or highlight them pink, yellow like that if you weren't able to find them, and I can try to work on that. We also have this note that's important that needs to be there, and then we start with the routine. All you have to do is just put the routine name and then the page number. And then here's what the mini lesson formatting should look like. We want to have the TEKS SE there before the title. And then these are some examples of how to put in the strategy book from Jennifer Saravallo if you have it. One thing that I do want to pick out is some of our lessons in Benchmark have strategies and some don't. It kind of depends on where they are in the cycle with immersion. If yours does have a strategy, so say for this first one, it didn't have a strategy. The kids were just talking about the inspiration. But then this one does have a strategy, which is listed on the page in Benchmark. If you can put that in parentheses, that would be awesome for teachers. And then I wanted to show you, as you go through Benchmark, the first week is always immersion. But then as you move into day 6 or the second week, however it is, you're going to start seeing this independent writing and feedback. Let's start including that, how it is done here, just to help people see, like, this is an extension, this is what they should be doing as well. It's listed out more in Benchmark writing, and that's why we're including it. It's not listed out like that in Benchmark Readers Workshop, so it's very generic. So the specificity for writing might help people know what to do, and then hopefully they could think about that and transfer that same idea to reading. So then again, we included this little additional ideas and lessons at the bottom. You don't have to put things there, but you can. So I'm sorry this took 8 minutes, but hopefully this helped you understand what to do. And please make comments for me on your pages or text and email if you need to talk. Thanks.